Finishing Ben Franklin's In My Bathroom by Candace Fleming, with the epilogue. Come on, Nolan, we're going to be late for my party. Olive careened into my bedroom wearing her pink sequin mermaid princess aquamarine bathing suit. On her back flashed a brand new shimmer and sparkle backpack. Both were birthday presents from Dad. You'll be the best dressed mermaid at your pool party, he said when we all video chatted last night. And the only one who can scull and flutter, added Olive. I have to admit she was pretty excited about her birthday. Pizza, cake, mermaid swimming, she had told Mom to write on the invitation. Mermaid swimming? Mom had asked. It's a long story, I'd say. Mom was smiling a lot these days, now that her book, Ben Franklin in the Pursuit of Happiness, was done. Her editor was even calling it a sunny, funny, punny, bunny masterpiece. I finished tying my shoes. I'm ready already. Pop, a bright light shot out from under my closet door. It grew white, whiter, crystal white. From within its depths came the sound of static and faint voices. This is no ordinary time. You must do the thing you cannot do. It's Ben, whooped Olive. He's come back for my birthday. She raced to the closet. Wait, Olive. She flung open the door and screamed. She slammed the door shut again. Pressing her back against it, she stretched her arms wide. That, she panted, is definitely not Ben Franklin. Hello, came up women's wavering voice. FD, is that you? Let me out, won't you? I seem to have gotten trapped in a closet. What Nolan knows. A few days after Ben went home, I stopped by the library. I wanted to check out a couple of Captain Blood graphic novels. I also wanted to check out Ben's stories and see if they were true. Not that I thought he was lying or anything, but come on, stunt swimming? With the help from Mrs. Bustamante, here's what I found. Story number 1, Ben and electricity. Back in Ben's day, no one understood what electricity was or what it could do. Ben's experiments were all about trying to figure out electricity's mysteries. And while we went about it pretty scientifically, setting up careful experiments, observing closely and writing down every step, he liked to have fun too. Like one time he made a fake spider. It had a cork for its body and 6 pieces of thread for its legs, and was attached to a thin wire. When people visited his laboratory, he liked to prank them by electrifying the wire. This made the spider jump and wiggle across his work table. While people screamed, Ben giggled. Shocking, says Olive. He did other cool stuff with electricity. He made brass balls glow red, produced bolts of lightning, made his ring of gray hair stand on end. He liked showing off, sometimes too much, but because he really did almost electrocute himself that time he tried to cook a turkey. Lucky for him, he escaped with just a couple of bruises. Which goes to show how dangerous it is to experiment with electricity. Probably the bravest or stupid experiment he ever did, depending on how you look at it, was flying a kite in the middle of a thunderstorm. He wanted to prove that lightning was electricity. So he asked his son William to run back and forth across a field in the rain until the kite took flight. Then Ben, who had been standing all dry and cozy in a farmer's shed, took over. Minutes later, he touched his knuckle to a brass key tied to the end of the kite string and got a shock. His hypothesis was true, and he became famous. The Royal Society of London, sort of a club of the best scientists in Europe, gave him their highest award, called the Copley Medal. Universities like Harvard and Yale gave him honorary degrees, and the King of France sent him a letter of congratulations. Story number 2, Ben in the First Library. Ben really did start a club in 1727 that he called the Gentlemen's Society for the Wearing of Fur Caps, the Mini Mermaid Club for Beginning Mermaids. Those are Olive's answers. The Junto. Every Friday night, he and 9 of his smartest friends got together at the tavern to talk about books and politics and ways they can improve their city. Word got around about the club. Other people begged to join, but Ben wanted to keep each club small, no bigger than 12 members. So he suggested that others form their own clubs. Soon Philadelphia had 6 groups, all of them dedicated to smart talk and helping the community. They helped form Philadelphia's fire department. I hope they didn't let Ben drive. And just like that, like Ben said, they established the first library. It's true, it was his idea, and club members did go around collecting money for it. In just a couple of years, the library had more than 300 books and was open from 2 to 3 on Wednesday afternoons and from 10 to 4 on Saturdays. Only people who paid to use the library could check out the books, one at a time, but anyone could go inside and read. Some of the original books from the first library are still around. You can see them at the Library Company of Philadelphia. Library Company? I know it's a weird name for a library, but that's what Ben called it, and that's what it is still called. Story number 3, Ben and swim fins. In Ben's time, hardly anyone knew how to swim, but Ben loved the water, and he taught himself when he was just 7 years old by reading a book called The Art of Swimming. He learned how to dive, how to swim holding one foot, and how to even clip his nails underwater. Ben did invent swim fins when he was 11 years old. They were his very first invention, but they weren't his last. During his lifetime, he invented all kinds of cool and useful things like bifocals, the odometer, the Franklin stove, the library chair, the glass harmonica, daylight savings time, and a phonic alphabet, and he kept on swimming. Rubber vomit, edible socks, those are Olive's ideas. Number 4, Ben and William. Ben had 3 kids, Frances Folger, called Frankie, born in 1732, Sarah, known as Sally, born in 1743, and his oldest son, William, born in late 1730 or early 1731. Ben and William were very close, especially after little Frankie died of smallpox. William went to the best of schools, and his books and toys were ordered special from London. He even had his own pony. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. Ben and William did everything together. So, of course, when Ben traveled to London in 1757, William went with him. William was 26 by then, and he met the richest, most powerful men in England. Ben was happy about it. He wanted King George III to appoint William the royal governor of New Jersey, and in 1763 the king did. William took his job and all of its responsibilities seriously. Even when his father and others began grumbling about how badly the American colonies were being treated by the British government, William stayed loyal to the king. Then revolution broke out and the colonists had to choose a side, fight for independence or fight for Britain. William thought his father would understand when he stuck by the king, but Ben didn't. He told William how he felt. Nothing has ever hurt me so much, and to find myself deserted in my old age by my own son. Poor Ben, says Olive. William felt deserted too. Colonists eventually arrested William for being an enemy of the country and threw him in jail. Ben could have gotten him out, seeing as now he was a member of the Continental Congress. He'd even been on the committee to write the Declaration of Independence. But Ben let William sit in a cell for 2 whole years. When he was finally released, William moved to London. His dad didn't even say goodbye. Poor William. The two didn't meet again until July 1785. The revolution was over, and Ben, who'd been a diplomat in France for the past 9 years, was sailing home to Philadelphia. When his ship made a stop in England, William hurried to meet it. He couldn't wait to see his dad. He wanted to be close again. Oh, I love happy endings. But it didn't work out that way. William felt awkward and uncomfortable. Ben was still boiling mad. 2 days later, when Ben sailed for America, they still hadn't made up. They never saw each other again. I hate sad endings. William did write to him, but I don't think Ben ever wrote back. If so, he didn't mail the letter. Ben never heard another word from him, and so that's it. Every last thing Ben told us was true. I guess honesty is the best policy. Here's a list of books I used to fact-check Ben, otherwise known as my biography. Mr. Druff would be impressed, huh? There are a gazillion websites about Ben, but these are 2 of my favorite. pbs.org/Ben Franklin. This has a super fun explore section where you can visit Ben's hometown or travel with him around the world or learn to make a kite based on his design. Best of all, there's an interactive electrical experience. You can make a spark, build a lightning rod, or fly a kite in a thunderstorm. ushistory.org, Franklin/info. There's a pretty good biography on this website. as well as essays and stories and a list of Ben quotations. What I liked most, though, were the games, puzzles, and experiments. I even played checkers with Ben and won. I will put those 2 websites in Google Classroom and on the remote learning plan. I hope you enjoyed Ben Franklin's In My Bathroom by Candace Fleming.